book that has been out now a month. Moving from Fear to Trust: How Trust Unlocks Your Power to Create Your Calling. So I'm going to read to you the foreword, which is from my editor, Dr. Mary Helen Hensley. And you can let me know what you think after I read it. As a public speaker with a little dash of magic on the side, I never know what's going to spring forth from my lips when I take to a stage. It's actually my favourite part of this whole metaphysical gig I'm currently playing. My darling, sweet little 94-year-old mother, who was a preacher's wife for over 60 years, and well accustomed to my father's yellow legal pads full of sermon notes, well, she still shudders every time I step out in front of an audience. You don't have any notes. What are you going to talk about? She always smiles sweetly, trying to disguise her casual alarm with her southern charm. She's seen me pull it off 1,000 times. She believes, she trusts, but she says it still makes her heart race just a bit. For some, the trust is in the preparation. For me, the trust lies with my purpose for returning from death with these uncanny abilities. I trust, I expect, I know that in every moment and every opportunity, I have the chance to create not just words, but an undeniable feeling in the room that all is exactly as it should be. You see, we already are that which we seek. I just remember it, know it as truth, and use it to my advantage in every situation. In a nutshell, one of the most amazing side effects of having broken my neck and clinically died in 1991 is not only an ironclad trust in my purpose here on earth, but also an ability to heal by influencing energy and frequency alongside the gift of communication with those outside this earthly realm. Believe it or not, I love the adrenaline rush of walking onto a stage, not a note in hand, and waiting. It only takes a moment to gather, to receive the emotional downloads of every member of my audience, to simply start talking. Inevitably, the powers that be use me as a vessel, a seaplot of infinite possibilities to those who are listening. I will never forget the day, as accustomed as I am to the feeling, the experience of fully expecting and implicitly trusting the guidance. There was something different in the air. It was one of those moments where you are completely aware that the seed you are about to plant will take root. Twist and turn the soul and the soil, spring forth into the light, bearing fruit that will become food for the masses. I, for one, believe that everything is food. My death experience allowed me to see this world, these lives we lead, from a completely different perspective. With the mind, body, and spirit being equal legs of the stool, to remove or neglect one, the entire operation, by the laws of physics, has no choice but to topple to the ground. Food is that which we nourish our bodies, the actual substances we put into our mouths in order to feed the machine. Food is also that which we take into our field via the senses, the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic stimulus of all that bombards us, with or without our intelligible consent. The day I stepped onto the stage of the well-appointed heels of the Girl Against Fluoride, there was a hum, the telltale sound of communication from someone, something not confined to the mortal coil. Before launching into my discussion on metaphysics, what happens when we die and the like, I heard the clear, unmistakable vibration of a love from a mother who had a message for her daughter. I can still see Aishling's face. If there was ever a snapshot of moving from fear to trust, it was that precise moment. The rest, as they say, is history. You were holding in your hands the book, the fruit born of the seeds that were planted long before I came onto the scene. Aishling's mother, Martha, began to cultivate a garden for her daughter many years ago. I simply had the pleasure to tend and weed in the form of editing this story. There are so many moving moments, but my fervent hope is that whoever reads this recognizes that not even death can prevent a sacred mission, a soul contract, a labor of love from unfolding as intended. I invite you to open your heart, dive in, and find yourself in these words. Moving from fear to trust is not a one-off single event in anyone's story. It's an ongoing exercise of being human, one in which we must reevaluate and reinvent ourselves on an ongoing basis when faced with any of life's challenges. May this book give you the courage to move from fear to trust every single time. Dr. Mary Helen Hensley. So Dr. Mary Helen Hensley was the catalyst of this book. I met her, so she's describing our meeting back in November of 2018, a couple of months after my mum passed away. My mum passed in the May of 2018. And I was speaking all about my campaign at the Open Minds Conference in Waterford. And Mary Helen was a speaker after me. And she delivered this message straight away as she stepped onto the stage. And she's describing that moment in the foreword to the book, Moving from Fear to Trust, in just such an accurate depiction of that time where I literally moved from fear to trust in that moment as she said those words. Because up to that point, I knew that my mum and I came here for a specific reason, and we've been on this mission for so long together. And when she physically passed, I felt, on one hand, I was being given so much guidance and so many signs from her, through myself, through those in my circle that are connected. And at the same time, there was this fear of maybe she isn't here. Maybe she's gone. Maybe she's gone forever. And that was the fear that I was moving through. And when I went to that conference in the November, and I heard Mary Helen's words, I just knew, I knew for a fact and absolute truth in my body and in my whole entire being, that my mom, yes, she physically passed away, and I witnessed that. I was holding her in my arms. My hand was on her heart as her heart slowed to stop. And I saw her leave her body. But she's shown me over and over again how death isn't the end, and how it's the fear of it and the fear of the physical loss is the thing that is the most difficult challenge. And in order to move from fear to trust, you have to move through these life challenges that naturally come as part of being here on earth. And so for me, the message of moving from fear to trust is to be able to really dissolve the fear in myself and in you, whoever reads this story, of the unknown. Because in order for us to be able to really surrender to what we're being called to do right now, we have to move through those fears of the unknown and the uncertainty of not being able to see. But there's this divine connection in all of us. And that's really the message of this book, and how trust unlocks your power to create your calling. And your power is your inner divinity, your inner connection to source. You are an expression of that. And it's that remembrance and then that living of that helps you to actually move from fear to trust and to land in what it is that you're called to live. Whether that's reclaiming your health, whether that's starting a family, whether that's changing jobs, changing careers, whatever you are facing, the life challenges are designed for you to come into your power, come into your expression. And in order to do so, you have to be able to learn from others that go on this path. And so my intention with moving from fear to trust is that you read the story, and it's like it is story medicine, because I'm sharing with you all my key initiations that I've walked through to date. And I'm sharing totally open, totally honest stuff that I've never shared before. It's, totally there for you to read. And my hope and intention is that you take this and you use it as a stepping stone to be able to bring in the next level of your life and your expression that you are called to embody at this time. So my book is available right now. It's on my website, aisling.fitzgibbon.com. You can order that there. When you get the copy, you will get an invite to an upcoming live free workshop when you get the book. It's part of the buying of the book, because I don't just want you to read the story. I want to support you in actually applying this to your life. And all the different tools that I have worked through over the past 13 years, I'm sharing, and really just to give you a framework to be able to go away and be able to apply this into your own life. So I'm very excited about that. And at one stage, I was writing this book and I had no idea of what the outcome is. And I'm still very much in the early phase of bringing this out into the world and sharing this. But when I read that foreword, which I just read here today with you from Dr. Mary Helen Hensley, I broke down crying with just such awe at the level of courage that I have cultivated in my own self. And I hope that that courage is a catalyst for you to light that fire and for you to rise up in your own self and in your own empowerment. Amidst all of the challenges that are happening right now, that you remember the core of who you are and you start to live from that place and you start to make your decisions from that place. So moving from fear to trust is a message for this time to activate in you that remembrance. And I'm very excited for you to read the words. I'm going to be back here again tomorrow, going live with one of my inner circle readers, Danielle of Mothercraft Herbal. And we're going to be hearing all about her insights from the book and hearing her perspective on the story and the lessons that I have shared in this book. So I'm going to be coming here with you again tomorrow. I'll be here at 2 p.m. Irish time to share that with you. And if you have any questions, let them in the comments below, pop them into the comments below, and I'd be happy to chat with you. The workshop is going to be coming up in the next 2 weeks. So if you want to join that live, just get your copy of Moving from Fear to Trust on my website, aisling.fitzgibbon.com, and you'll receive an invite to your email. All you have to do is screenshot your order number and to my email, which is info@aisling.fitzgibbon.com, and you'll get that delivered to your inbox. So moving fear to trust, may you embrace the unknown, embrace the void, embrace the challenges, embrace what's calling you, and know that you have the power within you